What is happening, everyone? Welcome back to the Kop podcast. It is season 2, episode 1 of Pod and a Pint. We are in Shenanigans as always. I am Mick Moran and today I'm joined by Keith Salmon for. I've said to you before, I've called it season. It's Americanised, but because the footy season, you know what I mean. It links in. But
stick with season.
Yeah. But yeah, how are you doing, lad?
I'm all right, mate. Yeah. I'm good. Thanks for inviting me on. I really appreciate it. It's always good to have an answer to people about football and the Reds.
Yeah, exactly. You're on the San Miguel.
I am, which is amazing because I don't normally drink pints, but actually,
it's 2-1. It's very
warm. It's 2-1 for you, isn't it? But I was going on gasping for one. It was in my head, so like I can't change it now. I'm going to buy a pint and you bought me it anyway. So happy days.
Exactly. Well, I usually have the Guinness. As you know, the Guinness in here is absolutely class, but it's about 30 degrees up here upstairs. So staying on the Pepsi Max, play it safe. But as we always do on these shows, opening question, because it's always a bit of a laugh, isn't it? And I kind of sometimes do ask on Twitter for some questions. If you want to ask one of them, we've had some of the ones we had last season were just so funny. So if you want to keep putting them in, then please do. But this one, I actually found myself. I looked online, like random questions. So if you could outlaw one everyday habit or trend, what would it be and why? So I mean, let's go like an everyday one, and then have a footy one. Because we could be here all day otherwise.
Yeah, I know, Well, the everyday one, which is strange seeing we're on social media doing it, is social media, you know what I mean? But social media in the wrong hands. Do you know, it's like, everyone goes, oh, civil liberties, you can't, you can have a funny account. But actually, if you don't know who's behind accounts, that's where it's divisive at the moment. It's so divisive, some of the accounts on there, and blue tick ones especially.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, everybody bites at the Arsenal blue tick boys, and now Newcastle blue tick boys, and they're all monetising it on the back of us, going, oh, you're talking bullshit and all that. And you go, well, no, it's like, just get rid of it, you know what I mean? Just go, you need to know who's behind these accounts. Right? You know what? People can find me on Twitter, no problem at all. I'm under my own name. I think about everything I post. I try my best.
Well, it's having a bit of like just
responsibility.
Owning it. Like I've got my own name. It's my own picture, and the views reflect me. Do you know what I mean? Like I've got a job and all that. So you don't want to be going on there like spouting shit basically.
But this is what that platform allows you to do, and there's all sorts of things happening in the world now, and it's driven by social media and people's attitudes, and they're too apathetic to look for themselves to go, is that really true? You believe everything they hear at the moment, and that's very dangerous. It's a very dangerous time in the world, I think.
Yeah, I think generations-wise as well, because I've got like a few like nephews and stuff, nieces as well. Like I speak to them, like they've saw something on Twitter and they just believe it as like gospel. It's like because that's what they're used to, so they just believe it like that. And I'm like, no, you've got to question that and query it. Like it's not everything's.
Well, pretty much that's how we ended up out of Europe. Do you know what I mean? I was in Spain last week, and we got one window to sort of leave Spain, and for the passport control, he's taking as long as he likes. Like in the EU windows flying, and everyone's going, whoa, but 52 out of 100 people voted for that. Whatever voted for that, because I think it was the social media game which went, that's what you win on. Do you know what I mean? They did a better campaign to leave than the guys doing to stay, and that's what they won. They were out there all the time, and that's it. So I say, the power of the voice of the media is really powerful, and in the wrong hands, it's really dangerous. So I'd make sure it's more legitimate and responsible, but that's a huge task.
It is, especially as it seems to have gone the opposite way with Elon Musk and monetisation and just people saying stuff to make clicks and all that. My one would be, and my Mrs. Kate knows this, misophonia, because like people like eating loudly or like I'm like one of them knobheads who just like, if you're eating loudly, if you what I mean, or just like picking your nails or whatever, I just want to be like, just please shut up, you know what I mean? Me footy one, I'll go first on the footy one. My footy one would be, and Arsenal are absolute pros of this, is like when you win a throw in and they start like doing that to the crowd, you know what I mean? I get it in a big game. I mean, the big one
for Stevie G.
That's what I mean. In Istanbul, that's acceptable because it's the biggest European final ever. But like in a game against, you know what I mean, Southampton,
I know,
it's like, come on lads,
it's
you want to corner.
Desperate, isn't it?
It's the constant, like it loses its meaning now. Like you want those in the big games where, for us anyway, if we're at Anfield and we've got like PSG semi-final at Anfield, that's where you want that, because you're feeding off each other off the pitch onto the players.
Odegaard does it every 2 seconds, doesn't he?
It's just really frustrating. What would you go for?
I'd go for the bit where the goalie passes to his mate on his own 6-yard line. because like 98% of teams aren't good enough to do it, and it's just like it just slows the game down for me and frustrates the game, and it might add a bit of jeopardy in it, but actually it's just rubbish, and actually it disjoints the game and stuff. Get the ball back into play quicker, and like Liverpool are quite good at it, you know, like they beat the press and all that sort of stuff. But some other teams, I even watch like non-league football and they're trying it. No, lads, just lash it in the stands, you know.
Yeah, it's become a disease, though. It's because it's Guardiola, isn't it? It's filtered down, so everyone wants to play sexy football, don't they? And sometimes you can't. You can't because you haven't got the players.
If you're not sexy, you're not sexy. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Like I'm not looking like Brad Pitt. I'm not trying to be him. If you don't look like Brad Pitt, don't be him. Like, do you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. All right, well, let's actually talk about some of the Reds footy. We unfortunately got beat by Palace on Sunday in the Community Shield. All right. We drew. We got beat on pens. It was a lottery. But I think the stuff that we can still say about that Palace game, I said this to Christian on the reaction show that we did. Even if we would have won that game, we'd still be saying the same things that we did. Even when we've lost it. Do you know what I mean? Like Van Dijk wasn't his best, Salah wasn't his best. He's still saying all those things. But in the grand scheme of things, it was the culmination of a pre-season episode.
It's still a friendly, isn't it?
Exactly. It's all geared towards obviously Friday in 3 days' time when we welcome Bournemouth to Anfield. But just quickly, what were your thoughts on the Palace? I thought in bits. First half, I thought we were really good. It was just second half especially when Ekitike goes off, I think that's a big
that stopped the game for the first hour. I thought they were all right. I thought they were really all right. You know, they played some lovely stuff. I think, you know, one of the great joys of this season coming is going to be Florian Wirtz. I just thought the way he moved the ball and the movement for that first goal for Ekitike was stunning. You know, when you watch it back and look at it back, you go, that was unbelievable. But he sort of does this bit where he drifts and he ghosts, and all of a sudden the ball's clinical, and I think it's just going to take a few weeks and for the guys to get on that wavelength. You're going to score so many goals. But it was funny because Adam Wharton done it in the second half to us. I don't know if you've seen that goal back. Stunning goal. But I think Liverpool for the first hour, you know, you could see where I think they went at them at pace for a while, and then he slowed it down and let Palace back in the game. Lucky to maybe get the second goal from Frimpong. But yeah, you know, they were on top then. And then first 15 minutes of the second half, I thought they were pretty good. They looked good. As you said, as soon as Ekitike went off, there was nothing there really. But you could have still won it, could have lost it, you know. And you know, you got to think about they've been all the way to Asia, like a grueling tour of, you know, Japan and Hong Kong. They had 2 games on the Monday, didn't they? They're still pre-season, they're still getting in it. I think Van Dijk was sick, wasn't he, against Bilbao?
Yeah, I think he had tonsillitis, apparently.
Oh, well, you know, that you don't recover from that in a minute. And unfortunately, he made the mistake for the first one for the pen, and then he probably made the mistake for the second one. And you know, Van Dijk will be better on Friday night. You know, when there's stuff on the line, he's better, isn't he? Yeah. So yeah, I think lots of good stuff. I think the movement, with the way they were looking to play, was good. One big concern for me was the left back spot in the first half. He got absolutely ripped down that side time and time again. I didn't know where Kerkez was half the time, because like you end up with, I think at one point Cody Gakpo was playing left back. And I'm not sure. And one of my mates messaged me, goes, "Oh yeah, well you got your Bournemouth left back." He said he didn't play like that for Bournemouth. Like, you know, it was sort of like, is he getting asked to move into different spaces, but they weren't covering enough? I don't know. It was wide open there, and they sort of went at it time and time again. A bit better second half. I don't think he bombed on as much, but yeah, I'd say for pre-season that's happy. You know, what is it? 1 in the last 9 who won the Charity Shield, win the league.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't mean nothing really. It meant a lot for people who were there. That's why I'm disappointed for the people who travel. Don't go and see them lift a little bit of silver at the end of the day. That's nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. I think there was still, like you said, there's still some good stuff there. The link up with Ekitike, Wirtz, and just.
He's going to be an absolute superstar.
He's just so good, isn't he? Like, time just kind of stands still when he's got the ball. He just makes it look. I think there's players like that, like Alonso was one of them as well. Like, just time, he seems to have like a device where time just slows down.
Yeah, everyone around him.
So much time.
Yeah, and he makes that by his little movements, doesn't he? His body. and he drifts into positions. He's a little bit like Messi, I think, where he just drifts into positions where no one picks him up, and he can play on from there.
Exactly.
Really. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing him all year. I think he's going to be a dream to watch. Yeah.
Definitely, especially, I mean, there's already, it's just funny again, like linking into what you were saying before about social media, like just like people just getting onto Van Dijk and Salah already. It's like, come Friday, like when it matters, that's when these fellas turn up. Do you know what I mean?
Let's be honest with you, it's back to, you know, people are probably going to skate away from the Diogo Jota conversation, and you know they've lost a mate. Do you know, like I've been in offices before where people don't come back after the weekend, and you know some people react different ways, and so it does take a while to really settle in and bed in. And before every game at the moment, there's like a minute's silence, and a minute's silence was interrupted one day.
Yeah.
And then you know you just go, how do people react? You don't really know how they react, whether they lose a bit of focus. You just don't know. And I think everyone's sort of gone back very, very quickly. Once it was like okay to go back and start talking about football again, everyone sort of went very, very quickly back to transfers, and that's drives you crazy. Do you know what I mean? Just kill the window.
Transfer season is just it gets absolutely silly, doesn't it? And then
some people just stoke it every day. You know what I mean? Like well, Newcastle journalists, for instance.
Yeah, exactly.
Made themselves very famous over the last week.
Several of them. Well, let's talking of transfers. We have to talk about them a little bit because Liverpool are involved in quite a big one at the minute with Alexander Isak.
Maybe,
but hopefully anyway. But Ornstein reported this morning that he's adamant, Isak's adamant that he won't play for Newcastle again, even if the window closes. He's got no wish to reintegrate, and he wants Liverpool essentially. And I feel, and I've said this before on one of the pods on the last season, like you feel for them a little bit because we've been in those positions before where you've lost big names like Coutinho had a bad back, didn't he? You know what I mean? And he's waiting for the
He hasn't pulled that card out yet, has he?
Yeah, exactly. So we've been on the other side to it, so I've got a bit of sympathy, but
I have,
it's hard because I mean I'm happy I'm on this side of the fence for once where it's someone dying to come to us, and that's what you want. But that's just the way the footy is now. He's got a big contract, but he's told. Apparently, Melissa Reddy came out earlier today saying that he told them last season that he wanted to leave. So I mean they've had plenty of time, if that's true, to get a replacement.
But that news is not new. I heard, I think it was Luke Edwards, who was reporting from, I think, Singapore with Newcastle or whatever, or one of the Newcastle journalists anyway, and he's going, I've known this for 9 months. He's wanted to leave for 9 months. It's like, and he wanted to leave then, and he said, this is not new, and he's saying that, I saw it 3 weeks ago, and then people are reporting it today like it's brand new news. And I seen something about, you know, he's renting his house, he's not in his house and all that. I saw that 3 weeks ago as well. I think people are trolling back stuff and go, let's refresh that and make it like it's brand new because it's in the news. And they're just keeping it in the news.
Clicks,
They're getting clicks everywhere, aren't they? You tell me? And I think it's about time you muted Isaac until you put Isaac, the Liverpool lean, and then he's signing his contract. You know what I mean? Yeah. Don't be bothered otherwise. It's all part of the dance, isn't it? You know, that's the game these days.
It is.
And you know, it's if you're Newcastle, I totally get it. And is it because they can't sign anyone? No one's fallen. If Sesko would have signed, would he have already be on our books?
Yeah.
But they couldn't get Sesko. They can't sign Wisek because Brentford can't get someone else, and I think
it's like buying a house, and you're waiting for the chain.
Yeah, you know? It is, and the chain can snap at any minute, can't it? You know, so it's just. But you know, there's so much mileage in it for the media. Like Sky News will fill this now at the Isaac story for 15 minutes of every half-hour report.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know, it just keeps them in business, and they'll just try every angle they can do, and then when if he signs, do you get it all? You know, and you know, will he withdraw his labour? Who knows? What position will he be in?
I know.
You know, I think the strange bit with Newcastle and their owners is they are so wealthy. But actually their wealth doesn't matter in this football scenario, seemingly because of PSR. Yeah. You know, and that's probably what PSR is designed to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
to stop them being Chelsea and City again.
Yeah, you know, and then people are going, oh, that's not fair. Because they did it. Yeah, but they did it before they closed the loophole. This should have been the case the whole time, do you know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't have been able to get Russians coming in and buying Premier League, do you know what I mean? So, but in terms of like him as a footballer, because we know he is unbelievable, class,
but it's just like when you think about it, you start daydreaming about Ekitike, Salah, Gakpo, Isak up there, and then you've got there's just so many good players up there anyway.
Yeah, we need a couple up front.
Nunes left, obviously, like we mentioned.
And I think it was really sad. Social media once again, just slaughtering Nunes because Ekitike has one good game. Grow up with it. Do you know what I mean? I seen someone posted like a reel of his missus. Fuck off.
Yeah.
It's like just go away. Just leave us alone. Do you know what I mean?
They took time to clip that together, haven't they?
Well, I remember there's a guy. I'm not even going to name him. This guy, and he used to appear on Everton, and I remember it was Dejan Lovren was leaving, and he did this highlights reel, and I called him out on it, and he goes, "It's entertainment. But you don't like it. Everyone else does.
Yeah.
So you can fuck up on him.
Yeah.
It's not entertainment, mate. This is a lad who, whether he was good or bad, saved our share, done well for us. Could have been better, could have been worse. But you don't deserve to be crucified when he's walking out the door. And all his mates are reading it, and it's the same as Trent, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're all mates.
Yeah,
they don't look at it like we do.
Yeah.
We just feel a bit sort of upset because they don't love us anymore and they're leaving and all that. So that's once again back to that social media thing before. Maybe I'm just an old grumpy guy.
No, I don't spend that much time. I mean, I post and get off. Like that's my rule. And just to link into that stuff, there was a report from Paul Joyce, and basically in the last half hour, saying Liverpool are stepping up their interest in Guehi and Giovanna Leoni from Italy. I think the best part of that piece is that it's not one or the other. It looks both. Like we will go on for both, which I'm really interested in. Obviously, we've lost Kwanzaa to Leverkusen. Gomez had another injury. And that area, maybe with Van Dijk getting a year older, who's still obviously going to be very good for us. Kanate, there's question marks about him going forward, maybe. But
I've seen some random thing saying Chelsea were interested in today.
Oh, I saw that. It was like from a random source. Like
It sounds
central or whatever like that.
Yeah.
But I think in terms of reinforcements, like us Liverpool wanting to go for everything this season, like if we get Guehi over the line, like another proven Premier League player with international pedigree, a good player can. I think the only thing for his side is he wants like assurances over playing time, which you can understand. And whether
it's a World Cup year, isn't it?
Exactly. So
that's coming into a lot of deals, isn't it? World Cup year.
Yeah,
a lot of consideration. I like him. I've liked him for a few years, and I think it was funny because people go, well, he's not good enough for us, and you go, seriously, he's not good enough for us. Don't know what you're watching. I think he's a good, solid centre half, really experienced. Settled in the Premier League. If you go and buy like the kid Leoni from Italy, will he settle for the first year? This is
only 18, isn't he? So.
Yeah, he's a kid, isn't he? You know what I mean? And this is what Klopp used to do, was he'd go and buy players who'd already settled, like Sadio Mane. He's already got used to the country and stuff like that. So when he hit the ground running for us. So Guehi's not even in that. Guehi's just a really good centre half for me. And he's played in a team who's just been under siege half the time as well. So. Maybe you go, well, they concede a lot of goals, but it's not down on Guehi. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's a cog to try and stop that from happening, but it's not just him, is it? Do you know what I mean? But I think it's the acclimatisation period would be like that, wouldn't it? Because like I said, Premier League proven, he dropped straight in.
And so imagine him alongside Van Dijk controlling him and stuff like that.
He elevates everyone anyway, doesn't he? So he'd elevate Guehi's level as well. Well, let's talk a little bit about Bournemouth, because the Premier League is finally back, thankfully. 3 days' time. The window's still open for a couple more weeks, unfortunately. But Bournemouth, first game of the season, back at Anfield. I absolutely can't wait for it. Are you going?
Yeah. I'm staying. I'm still over. Yeah, so we're there. I'm in my own seat for a change as well, which is happy days. Charlie's got another one, so that's good.
For a Pint pre-match.
Yeah, defo. Yeah. The one thing that's funny with Bournemouth is Zerani, is it their other centre half might be going to PSG.
I think he's signed now.
So they've lost Kerkez, they've lost is it Hussein? The young centre half last year that we were interested in.
Hussein,
yeah. And this fella now, they've lost three.
Zabani, isn't it? Yeah.
Three out the back four.
Yeah.
And they've lost the keeper as well, because Kepa's not there anymore, is he? So what are they going to look like? And there's talk that they're going to lose, is it the Quessa up front as well? And it's like going, what sort of team have they got? And you look at them and you go, I don't know who's playing for who anymore, because Brentford are the same, aren't they? There's more players out the door than in. And on that point, I feel really sorry for Kelleher. He's gone there.
He got sold the dream, didn't he?
He probably did, yeah. Thomas Frank is here, come play for me. I'll make it memorable.
Going, oh, look at these are good, these.
Yeah, and then they all bugger off, so, you don't really know what Bournemouth team turn up. So, but that can be quite dangerous as well, can't it? We've all turned up on first days and you get a bit of a bloody nose and stuff. So you just think, Liverpool are a bit of a work in progress. There's work to do. It might be the best start for them, but then quite quickly they're on to Newcastle and Arsenal back to back, aren't they? So they need a good start. So the pressure goes on that you've got to win it anyway. So
definitely. I'll just have a quick look on live score. They had their last 11. Obviously, it was still a friendly. They played Sociedad. Like they've got Tavernier in there. They've got David Brooks, Senesi, Semenyo. So I mean, still some decent players, but like you said, it's a lot different than what you'd expect.
Yeah, they've lost the core of them, haven't they?
Yeah, so I mean, it's a big season for them. It's also a big season for us, of course, with a lot of new signings, which we saw in the Community Shield, like 2 new fullbacks, a new striker, new attacker mid, and it's going to take. I think I've saw a few people, like a few sound people online, saying it's going to take patience. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Patience and social media do not blend.
They
don't go together.
You have to win every game.
Yeah.
No word about like every game. And like people going, oh, Slot's lost, he doesn't know what he's doing. You go, because the fall off for us at the end of last season. Hold on, we won the league at a Canter, and they were on the beach. Do you know what I mean? You just like
exactly.
It's like you just go. I think sometimes people go, well, I've got to have a view, so I'm going to give you this view. And like we all don't like it when we get beat. If you looked at my WhatsApp at the weekend, you go, like, but you settle down a little bit and go, it was all right, really, wasn't it? It's only a friendly. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
You can say things in the heat of the moment, but some people like say it and go, I'm going to hang my hat on that, and that's the hill I'm going to die on.
Yeah, it's madness, isn't it?
What are you doing?
It's a weird...
For clicks and likes.
It's a weird concept, though. I think what I really find funny, it's like the scattergun approach, where they just say everything. So then in like 3 months' time, they can go,
find that tweet.
Told you
so.
Told you, lads.
And then someone will find the other tweets.
Fucking honestly,
the tweets are nonsense.
Does my nothing. But lineup-wise, then I think what we played against in the Community Shield, I think that's probably close-ish, isn't it, to what we're going to see against Bournemouth, because obviously Gravenberch wasn't available in that game. He's not available in this game. Yeah. Whether McAllister comes in for Curtis Jones just to make that. So that I wasn't convinced with the double pivot of Jones and Szoboszlai. I think you need a Gravenberch or a McAllister in there, because the inclination for Jones and Szoboszlai is to go towards the opposition's goal, whereas McAllister or Gravenberch, they're going to try and put a foot in and try and make a bit of defensive interceptions as well. Yeah,
I think you miss McAllister when he's not on the pitch. He's a fabulous player, and he does a lot of stuff that you don't even see. And I don't want it to be like a jump on Curtis Jones, but he had, I think, 53 passes out of 53 passes. But I don't think they went forward. I'm not sure if there was any creativity in there, which I'd rather him be a bit more creative up further up the field.
I think he gets in his own head. I think sometimes, because I think he's got the quality, but I think there's a few times, I've saw a few clips back, where he picks it up from the centre half, and there's one in particular I've watched again, where Vert's shown for him, and he has to just break the lines with a pass, which he can do, he's capable of. But he sees it and doesn't do it, and you can see Vert kind of turns away and say, like, he's demanding the ball and he's capable of the pass and just doesn't do it. I think it's having he's trying to find a balance between like being conservative but not being a bit too scared to lose it as well in those areas. So
the ball,
it's tricky.
I think Vert will try anything.
Definitely.
I think, it's one of those, if you find Florian Wirtz, you're going to put other people in danger. So I think your one is to give him as much ball as possible, like, exactly. You know what I mean? And I think he'll create mayhem, and then you can just see where the front three will feed off that, because there was loads of little balls. I always thought, as a kid, I loved one ball, and it was that ball between the centre half and the fullback. And I always shouted to Teddy, going, why aren't you using that? It's to kill a ball. Yeah. And Florian Wirtz does it all the time.
He does.
So I was well ahead of my time when I was trying that pass. Never come off, but it was like a boss. Yeah, so I just think, it's... I've got a feeling that he might go with Robbo, to be fair, instead of Kerkez. Yeah, because it's Bournemouth.
Yeah.
And just go, right, and just have a little bit more stability. And one thing they did get caught with was a ball from long ball over into the left back spot time and time again. Robbo doesn't get caught that much with it. Sometimes he does, but yeah. And on the other side, I was impressed with Frimpong until he got that bad knock and then he sort of went off it a bit. But Conor Bradley's still not fit, is he?
No, I think he'll still be unavailable. I think Gomez still unavailable, Bajcetic still unavailable, and then obviously Gravenberch has got the red card as well.
He's just got a one-match ban, hasn't he?
Yeah, so we'll be back for the next game, which is good, because I think in the Athletic Club game he played, I thought he looked like he went up. I know it's only a friendly, he's not a barometer for anything, but I thought he was really good in that game. And just
did he look like a champion?
He just oozes another. He seemed like he'd gone up another level, which I can't wait to see this season.
Well, that was what Bayern Munich thought he bought.
Yeah.
And luckily for us, they didn't see enough
We've
of it.
Unlocked it, haven't we? Yeah.
Yeah, I think Slot's unlocked it, hasn't he? Yeah,
massively.
definitely,
Yeah, well, it's can't wait to see Gravenberch back in the team. But yeah, I think that's probably it's going to be as close as that, isn't it, in terms of from the Community Shield to the Bournemouth.
Quite a few of them have become dad. He's become a dad, hasn't he? And Szoboszlai's become a dad, and Liverpool actually like that. Liverpool like family men. They think they seem to be, that's the settle of what they have, and Florian Wirtz seems to be family orientated and stuff like that. You know, we're not a playboy club or anything like that.
It's like the Klopp don't sign knobheads, isn't it?
Don't
sign knobheads rule.
And unfortunately, you got to go. What comes with Isak? Is that circus stopping if he does sign? Does that stop dead the minute everything's sorted out, or does? Because I never heard the circus around him in the first place.
Nah. I just think it's media and all that stuff just kind of drumming up, making a mountain out of a molehill, as they always do.
Yeah.
Do a little score prediction. What are you thinking for? Who's thinking of Bournemouth?
3-1 for us.
3-1.
Yeah, I just think we look like we're capable of conceding goals all the time, but we did last season as well. Towards the second half of the season, you just look like we could. I think we could win a lot of games this year, 4 and 5-2.
I hope not.
It's going to be interesting. As long as you're 4-0 up and you concede your 2.
Oh yeah, 2 in the last 10 minutes when you're already 4-0 up, that's not too bad. But
and again, I remember we were 5-0 up against Roma and you conceded 2 and you're going, oh my God, what's going on?
I can't be taking basketball footy. I can't take it. All right then, we're going to talk about this, because this is your book. I'll just give you a little look at that. There you go, have a look at that beauty. So this is something that the Kop Wants You to Know. A dad, a lad and Jurgen Klopp following Liverpool FC's return to glory. It's an absolutely beautiful cover, that is. Absolutely love that. Yeah. And Keith happily signed it for me, which I appreciate. So I can't sell it.
400 pages
can't
as well.
Can't sell it on eBay.
It's got some pictures in it as well.
Has it? Oh, lovely. Absolutely lovely. Well, how would you describe, for someone who hasn't got it yet, who hasn't bought it yet, how would you describe it to them?
It's a book about the passion that you get from your dad for football, and then when you're a dad, you pass it on to your lad. So it's a progression of that football passion. It's probably a bit old school, really, but like a lot of people go, you pass passions on. It's not necessarily about football. It's about life in general. Like I learned a lot from my dad. Like the stories I grew up on were about Rome and Bruges and things like that. The story that my lad Charlie's grown up on about Istanbul and all that, and then all of a sudden he's got his own stories now. He's got like cup finals, he's got Atletico Madrid away, he's got like meeting Sadio Mane in Munich at pre-season and stuff like that. He's got this bit where we were lucky enough to do it. You pull in favours from people from all the years to get him to these things, and I've been lucky enough to be able to afford to do it for him, and given the experience of a lifetime that a lot of people want, and this is like, I don't ever profess to be the biggest Liverpool fan, because like there's lads and girls who travel much further and wider than I am, and I'm really jealous of them all going to Tokyo and Hong Kong the other week. But I've done a lot, and I've been really lucky to do a lot, and I really appreciate it. But the book starts really with losing my dad. So when my dad died, it was like, you look at your own, where are you in life, and what have you done, and what did you get from him? And I think I've got a chapter that's made a lot of people cry, which is because they relate to it. Yeah. Because a lot of people of our age are already losing or lost parents and things like that. So you go, like there's all those memories about the first time you go to a match with your dad, and then there's like funny little occasions. Like I went to my first away game with him when we went to this place called Ashby de la Zouch. Let's say it again, Ashby de la Zouch. Okay, and everyone thinks that's in France or somewhere like that, but it's not. It's about 12 miles outside Leicester, And we went to a chippy on the way home after Liverpool beat Leicester 4-0 in 1978. my first away game, do you know what I mean? And we never got there till half time. There's always an adventure when you go to match, isn't there? But when you're 10 and 11 to go with your dad, whereas Charlie's adventures took him to, you know, like Bavaria in probably weather like today, roasting 100 degrees. But he got to meet Sadio Mane, Mane signs his shirt, he got to watch Liverpool beat Bayern Munich 3-0. And all that sort. And then we took in some cultural things like, you know, the work camp at Dachau and things like that, you know, things about life as well. And the other week me and him went to Prague to watch Bruce Springsteen, and he left me in Prague because he's 18. He did the Interrail around Europe for a couple of weeks.
Nice.
Next place he went was Krakow, and he went to Auschwitz because he went, seen that, done it, how can this happen, you know, all those questions. And he's living adventures on his own now, and that's the thing, is that I've given him is that ability. And you always want to do more than your parents do, and like I probably did a bit more than my dad did ever watching Liverpool, but he did Rome and Bruce, and you know, it's now Charlie's already done all these amazing things. Now he's got to go and find and do it himself, and he got his first set of A-level results today, so he's got to get another 2 on Thursday, and if he gets the right results he comes to the University of Liverpool. And the reason he wants to come to University of Liverpool is dad's season ticket, and his friends and family, and you know what I mean?
Of course.
His mum thinks he wants to see his nan and grandma more, but sorry,
that's the way he spun it.
Grandma's going to watch this. Sorry, grandma, but it's football first, you second, then the history course third.
A brekkie on Sunday morning when I'm hungover.
Well, he's got that. Well, he was hungover this morning after the night out watching Ian Browse. But so it's that story about, you know, family and love and loss and just living life a good way and having, you know, making the most of opportunities. And I was at Hillsborough in '89. I changed your direction in life and changed the way you look at life. But ultimately also left me with issues that finally come home to roost with me mental health. Pretty much the week after we beat Barcelona 4-0, just dropped through the floor. Upset stomachs, couldn't leave the house, couldn't be 10 yards from the toilet, you know. It was like, and it was my mental health that was suffering, physical health. So I went to Madrid, sponsored by Imodium. So I was like bunged up like But when I went to Madrid, I talked to my best mate and then talked to my brother, and I said how I was feeling, told him how bad I felt, and all of a sudden the weight lifted off your shoulders. So I'm a massive advocate on mental health, and men's mental health in particular now. And I went, after the final, went and got proper help. And it was things that I'd seen at Hillsborough that I'd actually blocked out really, but they hadn't been dealt with. So when I got proper help, it helped me going forwards. So when we went to Paris, and Paris was horrendous, I was able to cope with that. And I know some people weren't. So, you know, the book deals with mental health, because the one thing I wanted to be in the book is truthful and go, I'm not telling my story if I didn't tell it. Because it's actually a key part of me, like, you know what I mean? It's something that affects you, and you know, like the fight for Hillsborough and justice for it will never stop, and it'll never go away, but you'll never get what you need anyway, you know. And it's like, at every way you hit that law, and the chapter about Hillsborough in here is the fight for justice, but it's probably the angriest thing I've ever written, actually. So that's in there, because you've got to be angry about the way we were treated. And when we talk about booing the national anthem on Sunday, people go, it's about the king. It's got nothing to do with the king. It's about the establishment, you know what I mean? It's like, and it always has been anti-establishment. But, you know, we've been done over, and if you'd have faced what we'd faced over them years, you'd feel the same again. You'd feel the same as us. Whether you boo or not is your own personal choice, but, you know, for me, I'd rather sing You Never Walk Alone over it and go, show of defiance. But you can't respect an establishment who've done what's been done to us and allowed it to go on. And the Hillsborough law now is just getting pushed into the long grass again. And you know, it's like, that's where people need to stand up and fight for each other. Forget your tribalism. You know, City fans, United fans, Everton fans, you all need to stand up for the Hillsborough law. Because if it happens to you, it's happened to the Grenfell families, it happened to the post office families, there's the blood scandals, there's like nuclear war test investments. Happens to them all, you know what I mean? It's not just Hillsborough. The problem with the Hillsborough law is actually attachment to the name Hillsborough, unfortunately. That's a sad byproduct of why it's come in. But you know, what a country you live in when the people who are supposed to serve you have to be forced by law to tell the truth. That's an indictment of the country you live in now. Do you know what I mean? And that's sad. But that's also many countries around the world as well.
Yeah.
You know, they keep getting away with stuff. And I say, it's not just about Hillsborough. The post office scandal, they'll be dead before they get compensation, the right compensation. They're giving them derisory amounts. And, you know, you just go, just do the right thing. So, yeah, the book covers that as well. But realistically, it's about, it bookends the Jurgen Klopp years. It's that roll to glory. And every time I finished the book, he'd done something else that made me, I'd finished the book and then he goes and retired. You think, oh, for crying out loud, I've got to write another chapter now. So at one point, I had 160,000 words, and the publisher's going, the maximum's 115. So I had to drop like some really great chapters. I had some brilliant stories, and it was like stuff that you love are on the cutting room floor, and you might see the light of day again. But I ended up with 114,996 words. Just to give myself a little bit of a comfort zone. But it's gone down well. It's 400 pages. People are loving it. 5-star reviews on Amazon. And I took advice from the people who read my first book. What did they want to see more of? And it's the trips and the travels. And, there's a story every time you go anywhere. There's always a story. It can be missed planes and trains. It can be like just great nights out. It can just be doing it with your lad. And lucky I'm doing it with my lad. So I'm getting around telling everyone about it constantly. I'm in bookshops doing book signings, doing podcasts. I'm on the World Service at the weekend. It's loads of good stuff. And it's a great story because a lot of people can relate to it. So I was up the ground before I come down here, Mick, and I was picking on every dad and lad I saw, going, you might want to read this. And they go, why do you pick on us? Well, you're a dad and lad.
Fit the bill.
So, but people are very given with the time, like yourself.
Of course,
which is really appreciated.
No, well, if you haven't got it yet, I'll give you a little look at that. It's an absolute beauty. Go and have a little look at that. I'll put the link for the for on Amazon.
So it's in Amazon, it's in Waterstones in Liverpool and the Isle of Man. It's also in Pritchard's books in Crosby as well. I went to see them at lunchtime. They were fabulous, lovely people. And I sold 2 books while I was standing there as well. Because they got to meet the author, which is really nice. It's good.
Boss. Well, I'd say that's a perfect place to leave it, Keith. We shall leave it there. Absolute pleasure to have you on.
No, thanks, mate.
When you're next over or whenever, just drop me a line and we can link up again and do another one of these. But yeah, that was season 2, episode 1 of Pod and a Pint. Thanks to Keith for jumping on. Thanks to everyone for watching or listening, and we'll see you on the next one. Ta-ra.